Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore 1926, continuing the Alternativa route in Gil's version of the route. And my guide is in the middle. My tablet's in the middle of finishing a stupid update because it just decided to update when I had it closed. So, anyway, if we come to any choices in the next minute or two, I'm going to be kind of screwed. So, I figured I was like, I can't wait for this to start. So, oh wait, no, it's done. Look at that. It could have just waited a minute, but whatever. Anyway, it was halfway through. Okay, well, before I start that, we're in chapter 3. So there you go. It was halfway through October and Christmas was steadily approaching. I continued to spend my days under the care of the Burlone Mafia, like usual. Unlike life back at the church, every day brought forward something new and surprising. And of course it doesn't open my guides. Oh, hello! Jesus Christ. I turned my volume down, guys. I turned it down, but there was no sound. What the fuck did you... I look away. Stop it. Computer. Stop it. I don't understand. My computer is possessed. Oh my god. Can we, go back to my, tabs that were, opened? My good god. This is a train wreck. I can't even click recently closed. It won't even let me click my, hello? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry, this is a train wreck, but anyway, I should have just waited 2 minutes to start. A little while after I had been staying with the Visconti, Oliver and a few men came in during lunch to report to Gil. Yay, it's Oliver! Did my sound just go back up again? No, okay, it stayed down. It's just really fucking loud. Oh, my headset's up, that's why. Dear God, you know what? Just fucking ignore me. Gil listened to the report and shrugged. It's fine. Spare no expense. But Gil! I know it's above market price. But hey, if money can get things moving, it's a small price to pay, right? I bet they're curious about how much cash we've got. We need to build the foundation. Being cheap now is only going to work against us. If they were trying to steamroll over us, it'd be a different story. Can't let them think they can keep us on a leash. We're going to America to do business fair and square. Got it, Gil. We'll let those Chicago boys know who the Visconti really is. Yeah, that's the spirit. Gil gave a broad smile and pushed the men out in a friendly manner. With that, they departed the lounge to return to work. Seeing Gil stay behind, I decided to ask, oh god, now we need a... Okay, I'm like, please don't tell me I'm gonna need my freaking thing, because I haven't gotten my damn thing, that open. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, cool. Finally, there's my guide. Okay, that's alright. We got it. Say, Gil, is the Visconti family going to move to America soon? I mean, you said it 4 times in this route alone, but... We got connections with the Chicago Mafia since we're planning to move there soon. I reckon it won't be too hard to get some leads. Okay. I love this. I know she's asking, are they planning to move soon? Are you planning to move there? He said it twice that they're talking to... I swear to God, it's come up twice in this route, at least. But we literally just flashed back. We're planning to move there soon. Are you planning to move there soon? Did I not just fucking say... Did I stutter? Girl! But, you said you were planning to move soon, but, how soon? That shows that you were listening. What did we just say? Oh, you're going to America? Girl, do you listen to any words that come out of the man's mouth? I know he's hot, but, sometimes you have to listen to the things he's saying. You can't just stare at him. I mean, meanwhile, I just stare at all. That's not true. I know Oliver likes to feed people and has a thing for potatoes, okay? I listen when the man speaks. I hear him. Everything fucking Oliver says is important. Minus anything he said in the first game, because I forgot literally everything, but, whatever. What Gil said at a previous meeting came to mind, and yet you still proceeded to ask him the exact question. Yeah, since that's the place I was born, it has a special place in my heart, just like here. I've always wanted to go back one day. Test my luck down in Chicago. Timing-wise, it couldn't be better. It's the perfect place to start up a business now. Chicago, America. Well, Chicago, Illinois, America, but sure. Gil's homeland. My curiosity drove me to ask more. Gil, what kind of place is Chicago? Here's the thing. I don't remember her asking this when we were dating the man in his route. Did we? And this is this is nice. We're caring and we're asking him questions about himself, which we should have done when we were fucking the man. But what else? It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Let's see. Got plenty of tall buildings. I remember looking up at those skyscrapers. Wow. I'm having problems. And with the automobile industry booming, I bet the place is even more packed than ever. It's a city where people with ambition gather to pursue their dreams. Of course, not everyone manages to claw their way to the top. But even the streets are paved with opportunity. Rich or poor, you can find a lucky penny and make something of it. That's Chicago in a nutshell. Gil's eye glimmered like a child's when he remembered where he came from. And again, props to the game. His eye. Singular. Thank you. Look, I know the game does it repeatedly, but I still feel like we have to give the game applause when it does, because there is nothing worse than when it's like his eyes. Eyes, plural. Guy's got one. You know what I mean? It happens. I'm just saying. Uh-oh. Cuckoo. Which we know is Henry, not Henry, maybe. Who knows? I'm still leaning more toward now at this point, not Henry. Fratello. Anyway. Who are you? I'm just gonna read it like Henry, since we know, and that's what we've been doing the whole time, even though I'm starting to feel like it's not. But anyway. Nice to meet you, mother and father. I'll be your son starting from today, so I hope we can all get along. What? Oh, that's me. Right, quote unquote, Henry. Never mind. Oh, I take it you do not understand the situation. While I do not wish to waste time, allow me to explain briefly. The rules are simple. We'll live together as a family, preferably one full of happy smiles. Unless I give you permission, you're not to leave our home. After all, I cannot have you seeking help from other families. And the rest, I'm sure you'll learn along the way. Of course, fail me and you'll be punished accordingly. Have I made myself clear? Any questions? If not, let us begin our fun-filled family life. How long will my family last this time? I do hope long enough. Because it's again, he could have had his back to us or something like that, but when we looked over at the family, we're like, yeah, I think they look like a family. Don't you think I know there's a family next to us, you might have glanced at them quick and you might not have noticed. You know what I mean? Absolutely not begrudging that, because you walk into a restaurant, you see people, oh yeah, there was a family over there where there's 2 or 3 kids, and they're like, there was only one? You know what I mean? You don't absolutely look at everybody, and we're not fucking James Bond over here. We don't need to peg out everybody and see everything. You know what I mean? You just know, oh yeah, there's a family over there. And it could have just been a brother, a sister, and a younger. You know what I mean? You just, things just kind of happen in your head. You're like, okay, so, all right, we saw a family sitting there. But the thing is, that's kind of concerning, though, because, it's a family. Well, are the parents older? Because it made it sound like when we saw the first cuckoo thing, right, that the daughter was younger. So then we saw a person sitting with 2 adults and a younger child, or just even if she was a teenager and we just assumed family. You know what I mean? There's a certain point when you get to in your 20s or something, like we all are now here, and you go out with your parents, and it's not abundantly some people might look, but if you just see a bunch of adults. You know what I mean? They could be work colleagues, whatever. It's not You think family, you're like 2 adults and 2 young children or something, not like 4 adults together automatically assume that they're brother, sister, husband, wife, parents type of a thing, you know? Regardless, I mean, obviously we're supposed to think they're a family and let's like, okay, whoever the Phantom is not like a teenager. So, whatever. But like, we just glanced over, fine, we didn't notice it was Henry, right? But like, you would have, when Gil was like, does something look weird about them? And you're like, yeah, they're a family, I guess. That's when you wouldn't have looked a little closer and noticed Henry, unless he was sitting at the table with his back to you. You know, or wearing a disguise, but he definitely wasn't wearing a phantom mask, because I think we would have noticed that, right? So, like, that's the only thing that kind of makes me wonder, like, we saw them out. And then if he's going out, wouldn't he be worried about us recognizing him? You know what I mean? So I feel like he can't be the Phantom because he's like, oh, you haven't figured out my identity. We kind of already, you know what? We kind of have if we think it's Henry. Like, so it's, I don't know. Anyway, I'm still going to read it like Henry because that's just what we decided. So Gil's eye glimmered like a child's when he remembered where he came from. That look is familiar. He had the same childlike excitement when his weapons were delivered to the manor. Oh my god. Oh, hold on just a second. All right, sorry. I had an issue with my thing, but we're fine. Anyway, so, right. He had the childlike excitement when his weapons were delivered. Oh, there goes the music again. The following day, I was walking with Gil under a beautiful autumn sky. Thank you for inviting me out today, Gil. You're very welcome, and it's mainly for my own sake that I asked you out. I wanted us to get a breath of fresh air together, given the way things are going with work. As he said this, he gave me a radiant smile, which lifted my spirits immediately. Gil had a unique aura that made the air around him feel lighter and brighter. I didn't have anywhere in particular planned. How about we grab something to eat? We can go get some panini from one of... Yeah, okay, wow, I can read. We can get some panini from one of the food stands nearby or go to a bar instead. It's alright with you. I'd like to keep walking around with you a while longer. It'd be a waste not to enjoy this weather. I see. He's like, I see. Thanks. Gil gazed at me and nodded. He's like, you're hitting on me, aren't you? No. Maybe. If it was Oliver, absolutely. But like you, I guess Gil, sure, fine. I do love Gil. He's charming. We'd barely arrived at the shops when I heard cheerful voices greeting Gil from all sides. Hey, Gil. How you doing? Been a while, Antonio. You been alright lately? That was a real tragedy. Yeah, it really was something. It wasn't long ago that a body had been found in a wine barrel. It had occurred at Antonio's bar. Well, I'm just relieved we weren't pinned as the culprits for something so awful. Remembered one of our meetings. It's obvious the police aren't taking any action. They've completely abandoned the investigation. After another unusual death was reported in a short span of time, the deaths haven't even been disclosed to the public. But that hasn't stopped the rumors. I've decided to close up until things settle down. I see. Let me know once you're open again. I'll be the first one there. Grazie, Gil. Glad to hear you've got our backs. Oh, my Space! It's been a while. Out with Gil today. Yes, it's nice to see you again, Nina. As we stood out here in the open, even more people called out to Gil as they passed. It's always nice to see how close you are to everyone. Seeing me smiling at Gil, the residents of Creta nodded in agreement. The Visconti's always taking care of us here, you know? They look out for us when we need them most. We're really grateful. I always tell my children that they can count on Gil if they're in trouble. Yeah, that's true, everybody in Creta. If you find yourselves in trouble, come see me. I'm here for you. I kind of love that, though. Like, Dante takes care of his, like, the town. But you know what I mean? There's something where he's more, like, stoic and quiet and hiding in the back because he's, like, doesn't know how to fucking talk to people. He knows how to slice a bitch up, but he doesn't know how to talk to people. Like, you know what I mean? He's not, like, as suave with the words. Good at his job, but not suave with the words, you know? And then Gil's over here just like man of the people, and everyone's like, Gil's awesome. Yeah, he's in the mafia, but whatevs, he's cool. You know what I mean? He's absolutely charming. And I mean, it works because you're like, Gil's not going to be my favorite. He's still not my favorite, but like, you love him so hard. You're like, Gil, you came out of fucking nowhere. And every single time you show up, you're like, yeah, no, I love him. He should be the typical character that I'm not into. Like, but I can enjoy their route, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm not in, but it's like, nah, I'm fully here for it. Whatevs. Like, anyway. Gil's bold smile was encouraging. I felt the same sense of reassurance as the townsfolk. After our chat, we waved goodbye to Antonio and the rest and continued on our way. And like, meanwhile, Yang, everybody's terrified of him. They're like, yeah, that guy's scary. They're like, Gil's awesome. And they're like, the Foul Zone's cool because they take care of us and all, but they're scary. Dante's in the middle. He's a goddamn marshmallow. But, like, you don't know that because he's always kind of, like, got that serious scowl on his face. Again, once you get to know him, you're like, it's not going to stop me from petting you. Gil suddenly looked at a section along the street and frowned. Gil, is there a problem? Yeah, sorta. The florist there. Looks like it's closed today. The place has been closed for a while now. It worries me because I know the owner. Oh, yeah, no, didn't I say that? When it's not like, the person who was dead in the wine, they're killing people that they know. And Nicola's like, it was the guy I know. And I was like, what happened to the florist lady? Why didn't no one know she's missing? Here we go. Now they notice she's missing. Well, could be she's just out with a cold. I hope she'll be back on her feet soon. I hope so, too. Whoa. I wasn't paying attention to where I was walking and almost tripped on the cobblestone. Just as I was about to fall, Gil quickly held me in his arms. Thank you, Gil. You alright? Still propped up by Gil, I looked down at my feet and noticed something unusual. Looks like I broke a heel. I see. You're just gonna have to pick me up and carry me bridal style home. Gil nodded and... Oh, fuck yeah, he is. Yeah, he is! I'm fucking dead! Oh my god, I was joking, but secretly hoping for this CG. I was really, like, hoping, I'm like, and like, if you pick me up and carry me bridal style home, you can't not give me a CG. And look at how good it is. Stop it. Oh. Am I blushing? Are you blushing? I'm blushing. Oh my god. I told you he was fucking suave and charming. He just sweeps you right off your feet, quite literally. Oh, I broke a heel. It's perfect setup. I approve. High five game. Holy shit. Look how hot this man is. For God's sakes. I love it. He lifted me up into his arms. Gil? And the benefit of this CG is there's nothing awkwardly weird about it. You know what I mean? You know how some of the CGs suffer from Nicola front-facing syndrome where all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's odd. And it's always the eyes. He's perfect, and we don't have to see her eye. Like, sometimes she looks really good in the CGs, but sometimes it's her that's messing up. You're like, oh. What was that CG? Where it was like, everything about this is beautiful, but look at her eye, it's kind of wrong. And that's all you can see. And once you notice it, it's like, you're like, I'm a little afraid. Not happening here. Everything about this is perfect. This game has a lot of really nice CGs, and even the ones that are slightly awkward are like, it's still really good, except for this one slightly awkward thing, you know? But like this? God damn, this is a work of art. Literally. And figuratively. Like, oh. Also, I just love it too, and they all wear rings and shit. Rings on men are hot. Kinda like eyeliner. Anyway. Just relax and enjoy the ride, Signorina. I got somewhere I want to go. Gil smiled at me as he began to walk. Could you just imagine how awkward this would... No, I'd be like, okay. Also, but bravo to you if you can carry my fat ass. But, like, how awkward it would be, like, everyone in town is staring at you as you're just being carried like that. I knew that I was literally in good hands since his arms were steady and strong, but... Wait, Gil... Our faces were so close, and the feeling of our bodies pressed together made my heart race. It's making my heart race too, just looking at it, and I'm here for it. I love it. It's beautiful. Look at his goddamn collarbone. I'm sorry, it's distracting. He should not be allowed to look this good, but I'm glad that he does, by the way. There's nothing worse than like when you're playing a game and you're like, oh, I mean, the CG would be really great if I was attracted to the love interest. You know? And, oh, it's cute. But if it was that love interest or you were like, God, they're beautiful. But like, Gil is beautiful, so it's working. I'm fine, really. I can walk on my... Let me take care of you once in a while. His gaze was gentle as he looked at me. I didn't want to struggle and make a scene, but I was embarrassed by what onlookers might think. Exactly. What should I do? Hold him and enjoy it. I only blushed and allowed him to carry me. Gil walked briskly down the street, looking at me again with a soft smile. No. Aw. Don't leave me! After a short while, Gil stepped through the threshold of a shoe boutique, carrying me in his arms. It appeared to be a luxury establishment. In no time, he found a beautiful pair of ankle boots that were of exceptional quality. Nice! I got carried by a gorgeous man, and he bought me shoes. I'm just saying, A+ day. Even after we left, I still felt guilty about the expense. I'm very grateful, but I really didn't need to spend so much. Nah, these are perfect for you. The shoes that a senorina wears have to be good enough to take her places. Also, I mean, we're like, no, I can get by with less expensive ones. Valid, but these will probably last you forever. Good quality Italian leather shoe. I'm just saying, probably gonna last you forever. Somebody, one of your descendants probably still has these shoes 100 years later. As they say, your feet will bring you to where your heart is. Who says that? My mother used to tell me that, and that's why women need the best shoes. Sorry, I think Gil is my favorite love interest. The best shoes are just I have the best shoes. I mean, quality-wise, maybe not, but like amazing, fabulous, really good-looking ones, yeah. So I'm here, Gil, but they're the best shoes. Are you sure? Yes. What about all the other ones that were the best? These ones are also the best. And I would just have a giant shoe closet, kind of like I already do. But a man wouldn't be complaining about it. I don't have a man to complain about it anyway, so like, fine. But I'm just saying, having a hot man who would buy me shoes and not complain and actually be totally okay with... I am here for all of this, and Gil just won a lot of fucking points for the whole shoe thing. I'm just saying. Not only did you buy me shoes, but you were totally like, women need to have the best shoes. Thank you. I love this. I'm gonna cry. Most beautiful moment in a game ever. I looked down at my feet. Although they were indeed the best, they were still practical enough for everyday wear. The heels were low and easy to walk in, and the leather was supple and soft. Thank you, Gil. I'll take good care of them. Instantly get splashed with mud, I'm sorry. You're very welcome. The next pair I buy will look better with an evening dress. Gil smiled and spoke in a light-hearted way to put me at ease. But I don't have an evening dress. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy you one to go with them, so don't worry about it. Like, again, I like to dress myself, thank you, but there is still something extremely hot in this game with your menfolk buying you gorgeous dresses. You're like, excuse me? Like, I mean, if you think about it, in the 20s, the style was probably a little similar. It wasn't like now where there's just all sorts of different styles and stores and things. You know what I mean? Like, there's probably less of a selection, you know? So, chances are, if you just hated the style in the 20s, you were kind of fucked because there wasn't a lot of options, you know? Not like now where they buy you a dress and you're like, oh god, no. See, I would prefer a mermaid style than a ball gown. Or like, no, I like long versus short or sleeve, no sleeve. Like, it was like, you get this pretty fucking 1926 freaking gorgeous gown. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. I don't really know. I've never shopped in 1926, so I don't know for a fact. But I'm just saying. But also, I'm just here for the men buying me fancy shit. Like, on one hand, I want to choose my own clothes. But on the other hand, just showing up with a gorgeous dress. shoes and like all the accessories to go with you. And you're dressing me up. There's something about that I like, while not liking it at the same time. It's okay once in a while, and I'm here for it. You know, not that you don't trust me. It's just you want to spoil me, so that's your. And I'm okay with it. Yeah, pretty woman me a little. That's fine. I have problems. This game is like almost all of them right now, but whatever. And not in a bad way. His kindness was one of the many reasons he was so admired in town. Yeah, one of the many. Looking like that is also one. A week passed by without incident. In the evening, one of Gil's men came to the lounge while we were having a casual chat. I just want to point out that I glanced over at the guide, and the next Meanwhile story is called Incident, so I find that very funny. A week passed without incident. That's funny. The next Meanwhile story is Incident. Gil, you've got a guest. The person led into the lounge was someone I knew, Roberto from the Berlin police. He glares. As soon as he laid eyes on me, he frowned grimly. He's just jealous that I'm here. I know you're in love with me. It's fine. Oh, I should be heading back to my room. I stood up from the sofa so that I wouldn't be in their way, but... You just stay right there. It's not like we have anything to hide from you. Without objecting, Roberto made his way to the sofa at the far end and took a seat. I was a bit hesitant to stay, but I decided to listen to Gil and sit back down beside him. Okay, so I just have to throw this out here now that Roberto's here. Well, let's just go. Here we go. We can look at him while we look at it. And, like, somebody made, like, one of those, like, little fill the jar things. Somebody that I follow on Twitter. Like, fill the jar with how much you love each character from Piofiore, right? And Roberto's on there. Oh, hell no. My ass did not just, like, crop him out and put Oliver there. I just want to see if anybody would notice and just be like, wait a minute. Because everybody's expecting Roberto, and, like, of course, my thing is overflowing from my love for Oliver, right? Okay, Norton, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna need you to leave me alone right now. But I just wonder how many people are like, wow, you really like Roberto. No! It's Oliver. I should have made him really fun when I pasted him in there. Missed opportunity, but I just can't stop thinking about that every time Roberto shows up. It's like, nah. You got the wrong side character. Leo was on there too, by the way. But, like, you got the wrong side character. I'ma fucking need Oliver. Thanks. I can't help it. I love Oliver. It's not a secret. Before I begin, let me say that the Berlin police will not be making this news public. He looked straight at Gil as he spoke. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but something's been happening in town. An unusual amount of people have gone missing. Gil listened quietly as Roberto continued on in a grave manner, with a grave demeanor. Wow. And reports of unusual deaths as well. Latest being a family suicide in Falce. I saw the scene. There was no suicide. We were badly mutilated. I involuntarily gasped. And who mutilates families better than Dante? I'm just saying his own, because we know what he did to Raul. They found dead in their home in Falce. I heard it was a gruesome scene. I believe they committed suicide, but Orlok's report was unsettling, but perhaps he omitted the details for my sake. Orlone's unique circumstances have led to a greater number of deaths than elsewhere. Even so, the numbers have gotten out of hand. No longer ignore what's taking place. After hearing Roberto's report, Gil gave a sigh and nodded in agreement. Family suicide was bothering me too. Your guys have given up on it. I'll take over the investigation. I think Roberto's like, I mean, I love his face, actually. Like, I think sometimes what I hate about him is, like, after Nicola's Red. I don't hate him. It's just he was distasteful after Nicola's Red, especially, but it's the attitude. But I kind of get it. I get his attitude. Like, he's kind of like, sees you and he's like, wow, it's pretty cool. And then she's like, oh, sure, with the mafia. There's a little incel behavior going on. It's a little like, you're like, she doesn't owe you anything, Roberto. Simmer down. You know what I mean? But, like, a little weird like that. But like, so, and then he's always angry looking. And like, sometimes you like the angry looks, but he's always angry. And you're like, I'm going to need you to simmer down. But then when he looks like this, he's just like, I mean, like, it's actually kind of cute. You're like, all right. I'm not saying if they gave us a side piece route that I would complain and be like, fuck Roberto, I don't want to date him. Like, I might have said that in the first game, but now I've like, I don't really remember how, like, I just remember being like, yeah, no, it's kind of distasteful, but it's not like Toma and Amnesia. Fuck Toma. Playing that route right now so we can play Amnesia Memories when this one's done. Not Amnesia. Later in Crowd when this is done. And like, nah, fuck that guy still. Not over it. He still sucks 84 years later. Still hate him. Still a red flag. Still want to chuck him in the bin, okay? And you know how we like our trash now. We're dating Yang, for God's sakes. Like, yeah, okay, he stabbed me. That's fine, whatever. I mean, I don't make the rules, okay? I do, but like, I clearly can't follow my own, so. But I think Roberto looks kind of cute here. When he's not all angry, he's kind of adorable. And what else you got, Roberto? What do you mean? See, like this, he looks kind of like a little, he's got almost sad eyes. Normal face, like he's kind of adorable. And then he just looks bitchy and angry, and you're like, ugh. It's the prickly, douchey behavior sometimes. You're like, lay off that, and we'd be fine. I'm sure, like, the fun part of a route with him would be, like, he just seems like like a prickly douche, and you're like, God. And then, I mean, Dante always looks angry, but he's in the Mafia. He's supposed to have stone cold expression, you know? Like, don't fuck with him. Roberto, it's like, you're supposed to be like a policeman. We're supposed to want to trust you, and all you make me want to do is, like, kick you in the face. That attitude. And then you know you'd go down his route, and he'd actually be like a nice little cinnamon roll, and you're like, oh, actually. Like, adorable and blushing and awkward more so than Dante. You know? It'd be kind of cute. Kind of here for it. Roberto eyed him suspiciously, and Gil smiled in response. You don't look like yourself today. Your usual fire's gone out. Roberto said nothing at first, but after a momentary silence, he spoke. Lord Redford, what are your thoughts on justice? What do you mean? Gil wasn't fazed at all by the sudden question and asked Roberto to elaborate. I also love the fact that their eyelashes for every single one of them are like gloriously long and just like, they're like cat eyes. Since I was a child, I've been told that I have a strong sense of justice. I hated those who broke the rules, and I could never forgive anyone for lying, no matter how trivial the matter. Yeah, see, like, you gotta take that stick out of your ass. I always thought that those who broke the laws should be punished accordingly. I mean, that makes sense, I get you there. But, like, look how sweet his face looks right. Okay, stop it! Okay, I understand people who might love Roberto. He kind of seems like, when he stops being such a prickly bastard, he's kind of adorable. All we had to do was break him a little. Alright, fine. Roberto's expression was filled with anguish as he continued. The reason I was sent from Rome to Berlin in the first place was that I was committed to carrying out justice myself. This was the first time I'd ever heard Roberto talk about himself. I wondered to myself whether it was really alright for me to listen. I was sent here because I punched my superior. He was the type to be lenient with criminals, which was something I just couldn't ignore. I always cited extenuating circumstances, or the possibility that they would reform somehow. I was outraged that he could condone crime. I was convinced that my own sense of justice was the correct one. Those around me never understood. Then. And now. This too is like, I am like all alone in the world! Oh my god. You're a moody teenager. Prior to my confrontation with my boss, even come to blows with suspects and colleagues alike. Somehow not surprising, to be honest. Roberto's sense of justice did seem to be on a level much higher than those around him. Everyone who acted out of alignment of that range of behavior was evil in his eyes. It's kind of funny that he punched his superior, so the punishment was not just transferring him, okay? Was transferring him to a town that is run by the mafia, and you will never get justice because the cops are like, just look the other way, it's fine. That's actually really petty and kind of poetically beautiful, to be dead honest. Like, damn, Roberto, you really pissed someone off. I mean, you punched the man, so I get it, but like, it was a tense situation to be in. It father was a prominent figure in this city. A former policeman who became a politician. Yeah, we know about him. After it was decided I'd go to Berlin, he promised to bring me back to Rome after things settled down. I covered up my violent outbursts on numerous occasions, but I didn't agree with it at all. I didn't feel like I had done anything to be ashamed of. You know, you fit in a little better in the story and, like, just in general with our love interests right now. Like, I get very violent and I punch people who I don't think are upholding justice, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's a lot of things wrong with that. Two wrongs aren't making a right here. Like, they're going lenient on criminals, so you punch a man and you think you're more in the right than he. I'm just, yeah, sweetie, no. So why was everything I did being hidden and made out to be as if nothing happened? Feels like, dude. He'll continue to listen quietly, looking at Roberto without a change in expression. Inside his head, he is like, girl! My father was a man of justice who didn't tolerate wrongdoing. He was the type to say that all criminals should be hanged. The very same father of mine used bribery and clout to hide what I did. I was angry. I was angry at my father in a society where money excused any behavior. And now, okay, this is what's funnier, though. I punched someone because how dare they not fulfill my sense of justice. And then my father covered it up. What a bastard. I mean, at least you acknowledge, like, I punched him and damn well somebody should have been called me out on my bullshit. But no, they just hit it. And he's mad about it. And it's just, it's so funny. I reckon Berlin must have been a living hell for you. A town where mafia criminals could walk around town and be cheered on by an admiring public. Feels like kind of like what happened to me earlier. You should have seen. Oh, never mind. That's right. Town seemed to me the very embodiment of my worst nightmare. Yeah? You, Gilbert Redford, told me to show you what I thought of justice. You were a mafia boss, and yet you were one who understood me. Oh my god, there's a bromance blossoming here. Oh. Listen, we already have a beautiful brown-suited boyfriend, okay? But, like, guys can be friends. I recalled when Gil was released. I see. And I'd love to see what justice means to you. Gil had seen through Roberto's aggression and managed to open up a real conversation. I guess his words had a profound impact on Roberto. Listen, Roberto, I'm not faultless enough to preach about justice, and I know you've been through a hell of a lot yourself. And now that you're sitting in front of me, let me tell you what everyone thinks of Roberto DeFeo. Gil looked him straight in the eye and spoke with a smile. I heard one of my informants gave you an earful the last time you were here. His name's Luca. Came by to see me afterwards because he regretted what he said to you. What? His eyes widened. He knows that you've been working around the clock for the folks that live here. You and Marco go out on patrols a lot, don't you? You break up fights, you mediate, you do what you can to solve everyone's problems. You even helped a lost kid or two find their parents. Look, I love the fact that Gil is praising him, and he's over here like awkward shy boy, looking away. Oh my god, just blush, Roberto. I get the charm now. I don't think I hated him in the first game, and I can't, but it's, certain things you're like, nah, god, he's just kind of, nah, I'm not into it. But, they make him a little more endearing. Either that or I'm just getting old. I'm just getting old, and I tolerate more shit. Fair. Except for Toma. Fuck that bastard. Every once in a while. Toma. Finn from Steam Prison. Fuck that shit. There was one other one that I was like, nah, to hell with him. Chuck him out! I can't remember right now, but I remember those two. I didn't know Roberto did that. I'd only known him as I had only known him as an unsmiling upholder of the law, so his sympathetic nature came as a surprise. Could you imagine if he actually, brilliantly smiled? It'd be like the sun coming out. Be like, what the hell? I'm blind. Not just Luca, but everyone you've helped knows what kind of guy you are. Do you not know that? Redford, I'm not the only one who sees you for who you are. You just haven't noticed how many people accept you. Hill continued in a manner that was markedly less serious. You know, I gotta admit, I'm not sure why you'd come to talk to me about justice. Pretty damn clear you're the only one between us with any respect for the law. I mean, true, but Gil. Roberto was silent for a while. Finally, he breathed a deep sigh. You're right. It was a moment of insanity that led me to discuss my problems with the Mafia. Look at him actually smiling! It's a tiny little smirk, but it's still beautiful. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get the Roberto love. Okay, I'm here for this. Still never gonna take Oliver's place in my heart, but his adorable little, like, smirk right here, I'm here for it. Innocent little smile. Alright. I get you guys. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I should be going. Unlike you criminals, I have work to do. Hey! We do a lot of work under this table. I still have things I need to investigate. He's adorable when he smiles. Stop it. Roberto's attitude was back to normal, but Gil didn't seem offended. Well, let me know if you need anything. We may be on opposite ends, but we're still friends. Everybody is Gilbert's friend, Jesus. Right, Space? Right. Friends. Seeing Roberto's eyebrow raised, I decided to express my honest feelings. I appreciate everything you've done, Roberto. Remember how you helped Gil before? No, that's right. What happened back in April? That was a pain in the ass, wasn't it? Isn't that obvious? I suspect you have no idea how much more we have to deal with. I would never believe how many times I've complained about cleaning up after the Mafia. Sorry about that. I'll try to get the next one. But until then, I'm counting on you, Roberto. I'm surprised Roberto wasn't like, all these things, like, you guys didn't do these killings. He's like, what? Nope. You know what I mean? Gil's hearty laugh seemed to worsen the frown on Roberto's face, but he made no complaint. He's like, friends? Wait, now I'm mad again. After Roberto left, Gil went out for work, and only Oliver and I were around for dinner. As soon as I sat down, Oliver delivered some news to me. Oh my god, we get an Oliver moment. I love it. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Gil's not here, so I get to, yes, have dinner alone with my boyfriend. Oh! Also, it's going to be probably an Oliver feeding moment. Did you need some potatoes? I got some. Fucking love. Miss Spacey, I received word from Orlok earlier. He'd like to assist you with your investigation tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, he mentioned bringing you to the ruins where the relic is said to lie. Thank you for letting me know, Oliver. No, don't go away. Orlok and I had gone to the ruins last year to speak with Bishop Rosberg. Perhaps there was something we missed back then. You had your chance to come up here, you gotta wait. You shut it. Stop it. You're being bad. I decided to eat as much as I could and get a good rest for tomorrow's investigation. I decided to eat as much as I could with Oliver, like, putting seconds and thirds on your plate. 29th of October. What? That's rude! We just skipped right on past my birthday in this game. I was really hoping. I was like, oh, we're in October. I can be like, yay, it's my birthday! But, like, no, we just skipped right past that shit. Fucking rude. Jerk. Can't believe this game forgot my birthday. October, obviously not. Whenever the hell this goes up. February, March? Are we in March? Is it March already? Is it almost April? I don't even know. I was with Orlok at the ruins outside of town. We were here to investigate whether there was a way to break the seal to the relic without the Key Maiden. Anybody got a sledgehammer? I came here last year with Orlok when all of that chaos was taking place. It was before dawn then, but I still remembered the ruins quite vividly. Oh, these are the ruins. I couldn't come up with a better name if I tried. One thing that was bothering me was, why is Yang here? He was there and I was like, why is Yang here? I was thinking it. Oh my god, I was thinking it, but you said it. Oh my god. I was just like, why is Yang here? And then it's like, one thing that's bothering me, why is Yang here? I can't believe she said that. Even in her head, it's still funny. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Really? Why was he here? No, but really. Orlok promised to accompany me, but I hadn't heard anything about Yang. Well, he's staying with... Is he staying with them, maybe? Orlok? I don't know. Just appeared. Even Orlok doesn't know why the fuck Yang is here. Orlok and I exchanged covert glances, and it seemed we were equally confused.
Not playing around. Hurry up before the sun goes down.
And with that, Yang quickly went inside the ruins. Let's go, Space. There's no telling what Yang will do on his own. Right. Orlok and I hurriedly chased after Yang. As we rushed into the ruins, we saw... I thought it was going to be like somebody else is here. Yang, no! Don't push against the font like that! You're going to break it! Yang eyed us suspiciously. I got Orlok's like, oh my god! Ugh! Fucking stuttering after him.
Oh, what? Well, then let it be broken.
Huh? No, we shouldn't be breaking...
Did we not come here to find another method of breaking the seal without the key maiden?
He's like, okay, we brought a sledgehammer. It just happens to be Yang-shaped. Whatever. He's not wrong. Don't break it! Have you looked around this place? No one's gonna know.
All this talk about breaking this and that. And now we're here. You don't want to break a thing.
Well, we shouldn't be so careless in handling these things. I mean, if it could be done by force, what would stop a vandal from breaking it by accident? No one would steal something in such a crude way.
I suppose I don't disagree.
Besides, this is a holy site to be respected. I won't tolerate your destruction of it. Yang looked at us with a bored, unamused face like a delinquent being scolded. I mean, that's exactly what he is.
Fine. You check the font then. Look for any signs of hidden workmanship.
Understood. We wiped the cold sweat from our brows and headed over to examine the font and around the altar. But... Yang! What are you trying to do now?
No wall ornament about to fall off. Perhaps this is what'll break the seal.
No! That's just a decoration. It's only coming off because you're pulling it so hard.
Unbelievable. Do you enjoy getting in my way?
At this rate, we'll never find a thing. He's like, you investigate that closely so I can go break some other shit. I fucking love having Yang here. This is hilarious. Even after that, we couldn't take our eyes off Yang, who continued turning things over. Our own search was frequently interrupted by the need to stop his forceful curiosity. Although it was difficult to make progress, we somehow inspected the entire ruins.
All that work and nothing to show for it. Unsurprising. How can you expect to find anything worth hiding if you don't move...
if you do nothing, sorry.
How can you expect to find anything worth hiding if you do nothing more than blow the dust off?
You can't handle things so roughly here, or else this place will crumble to the ground. Why don't we stop here for today? In an effort to rescue the ruins from Yang, Orlok concluded our search early. I did these ruins many times in the past, but haven't seen anything of note. Which is why I thought searching with space present might have an effect. Seems just bringing won't break the seal. But learning that is still information we didn't know before. Orlok tried his best to reassure me that it wasn't my fault, and Yang tilted his head and spoke in a taunting way.
Oh, what's your next approach? I assume you have something else planned, Orlok.
Well... I fell deep into thought. I read through the books and documents that the Falzone family had, spoke with Sister Sophia, and still came out empty-handed. Why don't we try the library next? They must have some books related to Berlone. Maybe even something about the legend. A good idea. I think it's worth a try.
I doubt we can expect much, but I suppose it's not the worst place we can look now.
I sighed with relief that Yang agreed so readily, and asked Yang for a favor. Could you not come? Yang?
What?
Okay. I had to scroll up because I was thinking, like, this scene seems like, oh, okay, Orlok and I might have been it's written in a way that Orlok and I could be talking in Orlok's route and then come here and he's like, I don't know why Yang's here, right? You know what I mean? And so in any other route, it could be like, oh yeah, Orlok called to meet you at the ruins. Cool. And then the same thing. And so I scrolled up into Dante's chapter 3, and there is a, press to view meanwhile story incident. So I'm thinking this might be... So there's going to be scenes, like specifically the ones when we're with Gil or whatever, like in the Visconti Manor, like we're staying there type of a thing, which will be different. But things like this will probably be the same in all of them, so we should be able to skip it. I'm really hoping, because again, if half of this route is just in these chapters is like, it shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Because it should add, this is the alternative route. You chose to go with the Visconti. So those are separate, different scenes, like as if you chose a different, like, dialogue choice. So we should be able to skip all this. So there's going to be a lot of skipping in the other routes. So I don't know. I was just curious, and so I wanted to scroll up. So
What?
Please be quiet at the library. Please. I was almost begging him to comply, but Yang only smiled. See, now this is why I was wondering if the Meemaw story was coming up here. So yes, we should be able to skip this scene. All right, interesting. Okay. I know I could have waited until we got to, like, Orlok's route, but I'm just curious now, about the number of people going missing recently.
Yeah, it's been bothering me too. Doesn't follow the usual patterns of young Burlone kids leaving for the city.
Yes, I considered it a possibility, but it isn't only the young who've gone missing. Missing persons reports come in about a middle-aged man with a family.
What did the chief say?
And went missing was a known drunk. Chief says he might have just swum out into the sea and drowned while inebriated. As usual, he isn't even willing to investigate. He's making judgments with no evidence at all. Thoughts, Margot.
Let's see.
Margot's brows furrowed into well-worn lines.
There's a good number gone missing. I haven't managed to live this long by owing stuff like this to mere coincidence.
It would have been funnier if that had come up earlier. Just saying. Because, again, there hadn't been an incident in a week. You mean, well, you know what I mean? The timing would have been fucking hilarious. Inappropriate, but hilarious. You know what I mean? I was almost begging him to comply, but Yang only smiled. This is not going to end well. Can't wait to take Yang to a library. So fucking out of place. So? Nothing yet. I haven't found anything relevant. Like, and Yang's over there, we duct taped his mouth shut. And let me put these away and bring you a few more. Hey, thank you, Orlok. Okay. I was trying to talk through the yawn. Because for some reason, reading out loud is making me yawn. And I've tried to talk through them before, and it seems to work, but that time did not work. Like, okay. We were poring over every book that could possibly contain the history of this town, but no luck. Yang was sitting quietly and reading a book nearby. He managed to be occupied for the moment, but I wasn't sure how much longer that would last. Being quiet. The lack of information was beginning to worry me as time pushed on. Orlok returned with a new book in hand, but then he suddenly stopped. Orlok? Orlok walked toward me and gently set the book down on the desk, whispering, I noticed something strange. Follow me. Okay. Orlok led me back to where he had just been, looking behind us every so often. Listen to this. He tapped the floor with his heel. It sounds different from the files. Hollow. Oh. I listened to the sound and he was right. It seems there's something. Just as Orlok was looking down at the floor, Orlok's expression stiffened and he turned around. Yang, where are you going? Huh? I turned around to see that Yang had abandoned his book and was already walking away. I had a bad feeling about this. For a moment, I'm gonna go distract them so we can pry up the floor. And with that, Orlok hurried after Yang. I stood there, waiting to hear any sounds of fighting or knocking things over, but he's like, I was just going to the bathroom, yo, what the hell? A short while later, Yang returned, accompanied by Orlok, whose face was paler than before.
It seems there's an archive, but the library. One that's off limits to everyone except those with a special permit.
I see. I felt my shoulders slump with disappointment. Yang gestured me over with a nod of his head.
They'll show us down.
Didn't you say only those with permits can enter?
He's like, I got special permits right here.
Shows you his weapons. He threatened him.
I bowed to them with all the sincerity of my heart and soul, and they were only happy to oblige.
Orlok looks like that's not what happened. Orlok was silently shaking his head from side to side. That alone gave me a general idea of what had happened. You know damn well he threatened them, but it's pretty funny. A librarian guided us down the stairs into the archive. Amazing! I hadn't imagined there'd be so many books. Although it was a narrow space, it was packed with a wealth of old books and documents. Don't you kind of just want one of these in your house? Just floor. I just always wanted to be rich and have a library. I want a library. You know what I mean? Like the kind with the bookshelves that have like the railing that goes across and then the fucking ladder that you can just like whee! Like fucking Beauty and the Beast across, you know, like Bella Cross didn't sound like, but you know what I mean? Like she does flings herself across it in the freaking bookstore when she's borrowing the same book she's read 32 times. That. I always wanted one of that. I still want one of those. Still want one. Anyway. Although it was a narrow space, it was packed with a wealth of old books and documents. We read that.
I see.
Yang pulled several books from the shelves and flipped through them one by one.
All of these have historic value, it seems. No doubt they'd fetch a vast sum from collectors.
Yang, I know I don't have to explain this, but please don't take anything with you. I don't have to explain this. I think you do have to explain it. Looks like there are books here that were donated by the church, so we can't borrow any of those either. The librarian also said he doesn't come down here except to keep this place tidy. Wonder how long it would take to read all of these. It was a daunting task, but we needed to start where we could. We quickly settled in and began reading. Oh, you don't need to read all of them, you just have to scan to be like, this one? Nah. We finally left the library in the evening with little more than we started with. Yang had left long before we did, saying there was no point in staying around to read.
Huh? Sis? Orlok?
I turned around at the familiar voice. Luca, it's been a while.
Just at the library.
What about you, Luca?
Me? Just having a walk around. I'm on my way home now. Oh, I heard! The church blew up, right? Sorry to hear that, sis.
I was touched to see Luca looking up at me with worry in his eyes. Thank you, Luca. Oh, I know. How about we all have dinner together? We haven't spent much time lately together, so I'd like to know what you've been up to, Luca.
I'd like that too, but only if you're not busy, Luca. Seriously? I was just thinking about what to get for dinner. Oh, I brought some money with me so I can pay for myself.
Luca puffed out his chest with pride, a very cute gesture from someone his age, because he normally doesn't have any money, and now he's got money. We all walked side by side, discussing where we should go for dinner. Orlok, Luca, and I decided to go to the plaza and order various dishes to share. I think we're probably at time, but whatever. First was a fresh arugula salad with prosciutto and Parmesan cheese. We also ordered enough bruschetta con salsiccia to enjoy as much as we liked. Salsiccia? Would you say the two C's like a CH? I'm not sure. The pumpkin risotto was a beautiful bright yellow with a sweet and mellow taste. Seeing Luca and Orlok eating so heartily brought a smile to my face.
By the way, were you around the church this morning, Orlok? I thought I saw you talking to someone.
Oh, Dad. I went to pray at the church this morning, and on my way back I saw an elderly woman carrying a heavy load.
I helped her carry it back to her house, so that may have been when you saw me.
Going out of his way to help the elderly was exactly the kind of thing Orlok would do. After talking a bit about recent events in town, I asked how Luca was doing. So much fun to have a nice chat with them, and it made the food taste even better. After we parted ways with Luca at the plaza, Orlok and I prepared to head back when... Excuse me, you forgot something! Huh? The store clerk was hurrying after us. In his hand was a glass case containing a record. Smiles fell away from our faces. Oh, is this not yours? No, it's mine. Thank you for bringing it back to me. I carefully took the case from the clerk. The 8th record. The clerk returned to the plaza perplexed as Orlok spoke to me in a quiet voice. It's time to get the Scooby Gang together. Just kidding. The Visconti Manor is close by. You should listen to it as soon as possible. I didn't know what was recorded this time, but there was something I did know. The fact that he sent another record to me meant that Phantom had found another victim. Dun dun dun! This is the perfect place to stop because we've got to listen to the record, and you know that that's going to be like, you know, probably lead to the Scooby Gang and then like whatever and whatnot. So, plus I think between this and then prior, before I had to stop for a second, like for roughly a time. So I will see you guys. I love the fact that it's like we have to listen to the record right away, but not for you or me. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.